You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragonball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? It is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragonball and Video Game Podcast. Today, I have somebody in the building. You guys may have heard of him because we've done something in the past. He goes by the name of Bearded Buddha from the WNDRSOUL podcast. He is joining me today. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on again, dude. How you doing?
No fucking doubt. No doubt, man. Everything is good. Everything is love. We're going to talk about a shitload of things because I got a lot on my plate, man. So if you guys are listening, strap in. I can't say how long this podcast is going to last, but we are going to get into some gangster shit tonight. So I don't know, man. Let's start off with, here we go. The Videogame Awards. The Videogame Awards is coming December 6th. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, guys, is because there's a lot going on at this award show. Everybody's looking forward to it because there's going to be a lot of new announcements. There's going to be new games. There's going to be release dates on games that we are familiar with somewhat now. So everybody's licking their chops. We want to know what's coming out. We want to know the release dates on some of these games. And I, for one, cannot wait for that. Later on, we're going to also get into some of our most anticipated games of 2019. And we're probably talking about, that first quarter, of January, because usually that's when a lot of good games come out. If you look back at history, that's pretty much that's been the case for the most part. So we're going to get into some of that, man. We just got so much to talk about, man. My experience with Red Dead Redemption 2 online. We're also going to jump into some GameStop news, man, that might surprise some of you guys. Also, Cowboy fucking Bebop, man. It's going to be a live action series on fucking Netflix. Yes, Cowboy Bebop. There's a lot of Cowboy Bebop fans out here in these anime streets, and I want to know how you guys feel about that, and I'm definitely going to talk to WNDRSOUL or the Bearded Buddha about it, and he's going to, break it down because he's excited about this. He's the one that brought the shit to my attention, so we'll definitely jump into that.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, man, I'm going to start off with a little bit of some light news here.
Okay.
I just talked about the Videogame Awards. Now we kind of want to talk about the Smash Brothers leak. It's coming out really soon, within a few days, actually. But there was a leak, man, and I don't know who leaked the game. I don't know what was going on, but a lot of people, Nintendo fans in particular, were upset, man, about this. I don't really know why. I guess a lot of the diehard Nintendo guys out here just didn't want to be spoiled. There's a lot of shit in this game that you can do solo. And there's, there's a lot of solo stuff. And then there's some stuff online, of course. But I spoke on this before. I'm not looking forward to playing anything online right now on Nintendo unless unless they have their own dedicated servers and native voice chat, because Nintendo has not given me any reason to give them even my little $20 for the year, because I don't have any interest in playing Nintendo games, NES games that can be downloaded for nothing, on my 5-year-old's tablet. And yeah, I'm just not going to do it.
No, I feel you.
So that's where I am on that. Yeah, man. So I mean, I just put that out there. The Smash Brothers that has been leaking all over the place. It's not really big news, but it's a thing right now. It's a lot of people talking about it. I'm gonna leave that alone. Put my money on the table and away from that. But
what would you? So you're not upset? You're not upset about these leaks, are you? I mean, because you're a Smash fan.
I don't.
But you're not like whatever. The game's about to come out.
I'm a casual. Yeah, I'm a casual Smash. I'm just a casual Smash guy. I'm not heavy into it like a lot of these guys are now. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is looking to be a nice game, and I will be buying it, but I'm not gonna buy it now because it's not. I only be playing with family and friends, and I'm a night owl, so I typically play games a lot alone, and I won't be playing too much of this. Not anytime soon. I'm more looking forward to the actual Sega collection that's coming out on the same day, which is the 50 Sega games on one fucking cart.
What?
It's already out for PS4 and Xbox, but I want it on the go. I want it portable, and that's the best part of having a Switch, man, is being able to play 50 games. Like 20 of those easily are RPGs, from the past. Some I never got a chance to play, and there's just some good classic games on there, man. I'm a big Sega fan, so
Man.
yeah, man, gotta get my hands on that.
Yeah, because I know Sega and Nintendo work together really well these days, which is interesting, just seeing all the support with titles like, because you've seen Mario and Sonic, they have their own like Olympics games and stuff. It's just it's funny seeing how Sega, and because that used to be what Xbox and PlayStation are to today.
Straight up,
I think people kind of forget about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've heard so many people complain about that online, as far as Nintendo and Nintendo Switch, and they did that whole thing where they're like, yeah, you can play certain games for free, online, but then we're gonna come out with our service, and it was like what, nearly a year after it released.
Year and a half, and that's what I don't understand. I mean, they can't be that ignorant, bro. They really can't. I mean, there's not enough sake in the world that you can drink. You know what I'm saying? To make you make some of these decisions. It's not. I don't understand it, but which brings me to another point. Nintendo has, if you guys don't know, especially YouTubers out here. I'm sure if you're a YouTuber or a content creator, you probably know this already, but they have finally decided. Nintendo has finally decided to lift the bans on the YouTubers. In other words, if you were a content creator, if you like Nintendo and love Nintendo, and you like doing videos about Nintendo and showing game footage and stuff like that, Nintendo would not allow you to do that, man. They were hating. They and nobody could understand that because it's for free publicity. Like that's why most other game companies, sure, go ahead. I mean, they want you to do that because that's giving them more of a outlet. But Nintendo, for whatever reason, man, was stuck in their ways. I told you those old stuffed shirts, man. I mean, in the Nintendo offices, man, rolling up scrolls and doing cocaine lines off of old Nintendo cartridges and shit like that. You know what I mean? They don't know. They're not down with the people. They're not down with the gamers. So this gives me a little bit of hope going forward because I think they hired a younger somebody else took over Nintendo.
Really?
I'm not necessarily sure. Yeah, younger
over there in
guy.
Japan. We still got Reggie.
Yeah,
right?
man. He's the American. He represents us in the West. Man. But he's a character. But it's a good sign. It's definitely a good sign going forward because that means that Nintendo is actually starting to listen. And if that's any indication of what we could get in the future, then that's something sweet because, like I said, I hope they really get their hands or their minds wrapped around what's going on with this online shit because, I mean, for a year and a half, you let everybody play free. Every game that they had that had online or whatever, they could play free. And then all of a sudden, now it's going to be, $20 for a whole year. It's very, very cheap. But everybody's wondering, what are we getting for that? Well, we're going to give you guys some Nintendo games. What? Nintendo? What the fuck? No SNES, no 64, no, Virtual Console, none of that? No. Okay, no voice chat, no native voice chat? No dedicated servers? No, you have to use the app. So I'm like, I'm not gonna play lollipop games, man, with these dudes, man. I'm not gonna do it. So I'm just not gonna spend money on it.
I heard so many people say like, well, you shouldn't complain. It's only $20. I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, you eat Taco Bell. It's cheap, but it's still good. I mean, just because something's cheap doesn't mean that it has to be crappy and you should expect poor quality, especially after they set themselves up. They let us build the hype because we had Switches in our hands for, like you said, a year and a half, and they had all these other dogs in the race to learn from. You had Microsoft and you had Sony, and you did bare minimum.
Preach.
I mean, so let's just be honest. Maybe they wanted their plan all along. Because look, I think Nintendo falls in the same category as Disney. They're companies that have big impacts on our childhood. Growing up, their batting record is awesome. They don't really mess up. So we give them a lot of praise. We put them up there on a pedestal. And so they always kind of have this mentality every now and then with some choices where you think they're like, yeah, we're Disney. We can do whatever we want. We'll just make this movie. Yeah. People are going to go to it because it's Disney. Like, hey, people are going to buy this because it's Nintendo.
Man, I spoke on this before, and people are getting fed up. I mean, you can't play with the masses. You cannot. You're seeing it. It's happening right before our eyes. You cannot play with all our emotions and think that we're going to keep on keeping on. It's not happening. EA, you see it with EA. You saw it with Fallout 76. You're seeing it with these companies, man. I mean, people aren't playing anymore, and if you keep doing it, I don't give a fuck who you are. I mean, they're going to pull your card.
Yeah,
and that online shit that Nintendo is, giving us right now, that boo-boo with cologne sprinkled on top of it, that's not going to work, man. Nobody wants to play Nintendo games. We want virtual consoles. We want, classics from other systems in the past. They have the capabilities to do it, all of it. I mean, it's not hard. And maybe they have some of this stuff planned. Maybe they do. Maybe they just don't want to divulge that information to us right now. Because Nintendo is funny like that. They'll tell you until they're blue in the face, oh, no, we're not doing this. And then the next day they'll come out with it because they just weren't ready to say that they were going to do that now. They've done this before in the past. So I'm just going to, hold my breath a little bit longer and hope that they do that, man. And the only reason why really that I'm not that upset yet with Nintendo is because they still have a lot of things going for them outside of the online shit. They have a lot of awesome indie titles, and they got some stuff coming out through the pipeline. So I'm really enjoying the Switch right now. Actually, Warframe on there is excellent. I love it. It's got its own dedicated server. You don't have to fucking have the Nintendo's online to play it, and you don't need it's got its own voice. It's got its own native voice chat. Nice. So yeah, you don't need to have the app and shit. So same thing, kind of like with what the other game is doing. The Fortnite shit. But
these are free to play games. Why are they doing it right?
Yes, yes, sir.
And everybody else is getting it wrong. And there's money.
Man, I'm telling you, and they don't overdo it. I mean, Warframe, you can get everything. You can buy some shit, sure, but you don't have to. Like, if you grind, you don't have to overly grind either to get it. It's fair, man. Like, Warframe is fair. They got so many new updates and stuff, man, coming out. I didn't even know. Like, now they're motherfuckers. They got you flying around and shit now. There's like lobbies and stuff now. Like, there wasn't a lobby the last time I played. So I'm enjoying.
They keep adding content to that game, and it keeps pulling in new players every month.
Yes, sir. I love the Rhino build. That is my fucking build. I love the Rhino.
Can I say one more thing about Switch before we move on from Nintendo and stuff?
Just of course.
You want to hear I think I probably told you this. I don't know if it was on record or not, but like my conspiracy theory when it comes to the Switch right now is it seems like it's coming true. Because if you put on your tin hat for a second, okay, think about this. The Nintendo Switch came out so quick after the Wii U. Like, they wanted us to, like, forget the Wii U. Like, they're like, yo, hey, we're done. We messed up, you know. So it was almost like the Switch was an idea that, like, they were like, will people buy that? I'm not sure. Are they ready? We need to, like, kind of warm them up. Because if you looked at the evolution of every Nintendo system, they carry, like, it's like a Cell. Like Cell from Dragon Ball. It's like he's evolving by absorbing the thing before him. So it's like everything kind of, like, builds onto it. So when it came to the Switch, it's like, yo, those are hybrid handheld consoles. They can't handle a lot of the things that we're wanting, like, especially from the online service. And I think that was them buying their time. And now I think it just means with the Nintendo Switch Pro coming out this next year, right? Like, isn't that a thing that's coming? Mm-hmm. So I think that's like, hey,
it should be.
We got people interested in the Switch. We got people to, like, try it out, dig it. Like, you're liking it. I liked it when I had one. Now it's like, if they give you, like, hey, the Pro will feature blank, 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 all these things that's missing, but you still get that genuine handheld hybrid, experience from Nintendo. Are you gonna, even though you just got a Switch, buy another one? Trade yours in, go to GameStop and go, hey, I'm gonna trade this in and, like, put it down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not one of those guys. But if you love it, it's cool. I mean, so be it. But first of all, I have this new Nintendo Switch coming out sometime in the end of 2019, probably holiday season or something. I have it being announced maybe the first quarter. But it's probably going to have, it's going to be maybe have more, I guess, room memory wise, and maybe have a better battery. I mean, I think that's pretty much going to be the gist of it. They can't alter it too much because there's so many other Nintendo Switch owners out here in these streets, and they want to make sure everything is still playing. Yeah. Right. So I don't see myself doing that. Trading my old one in, even though they've already started that snowball. They've already announced to everybody, hey man, showing you how to literally turn your Switch in for a trade in, or getting ready to sell it. So something's coming down the pipeline with that. But I'm not gonna be one of those guys to do it unless it's got to be like over the top. Right. It's got to be like night and day from the last model, and I don't think that's gonna be the case. But we'll wait and see. I'll definitely keep you guys posted for sure.
Yeah, this could be a good segue to GameStop, because when I worked at GameStop, there was like the reason why I bring up that is because like when the Sony PlayStation 4 Pro came out, there were so many people that just got a Slim. It was like, all right, I'm trading it in and upgrading. I was like, why are you doing that? And I give it some thought, and it makes sense. I mean, you're gonna get a new system that's upgraded, and you get still, you basically still have to put some money down for it. But, like the ability to do that, because when these systems started to adapt that cell phone production mentality where it's like, here's the Xbox One, Xbox One S, it's like, okay, so there's going to be one, like an upgraded version all the time. So we had to kind of get used to that. But I didn't really think the Switch, with how unique it was with the handheld, that it would do that, but hey, what are you gonna do?
A lot of people fell in love with the Switch, man. It was a roller coaster, love affair, man. I mean, I know with me it was up and down. I didn't know if I wanted it or not. I was wondering what all the fuss was about, and then, got my hands on one, and really before I bought it, I looked at all the stuff that was coming out for it, and I'm a big indie game player too. I like a lot of indie titles, a lot of nostalgic type of games, graphically, 16-bit, retro style type of games and stuff. Right. And they had a lot of those on there. And that's what I wanted it for. Now they got stuff like, we've got a big relationship with Sega, which is one of the main reasons I bought it as well, because I'm a Sega fan. So, that's what sold it on me. Now, different folks with different strokes, but I don't know if it'll be good or bad. Like I said, once the Switch comes out and I see what the new one has to offer, then I can probably I'll be able to determine if it's worth, trading my old one in for, the upgraded model, but I'm not rushing it.
I don't blame you.
But you did bring up GameStop. And we're going to talk about GameStop because there is, man, I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit worried. Anybody out there, if you're GameStop fans, I know there's not a lot of you guys out there, but I'm sure there's some, because GameStop has just reported that they have lost over $500 million. Yeah, 500 million. Not 5, not 10, not 50. 500 million.
This year?
Okay. Man, it's not good, brother. That's the news I got. I'm not sure as far as how far it goes back. I hope that's not.
Well, it would make sense.
I really
right?
hope not.
I mean, we're at December.
I mean, god damn, they got a lot of GameStops though out here, man. Like in my area, there's like 5, like easily, all in a cluster within each other, and there were more. They, had to shut a couple down, but that was years ago. But I mean, I don't know, man. I have a love-hate relationship with GameStop.
Me too.
I mean, on one hand, you got them trying to get you to buy all this frivolous shit, get the, the what is it, the membership pass and all of this and that. I'm like, I don't spend enough money with you guys to utilize that really. You know what I'm saying? But they used to have the game magazines I used to love to collect.
Game Informer.
Game Informer and stuff. But they are still good for going to get older games, man. Midnight releases on certain games too. I mean, you can go to Walmart, but I just like the fact that there's a store for gamers out there right now, like just strictly for gamers you could go to, and you can go nerd out in there, and you can get pretty much everything you need. And then I walked in there Black Friday, man, and walked out of there with Shadow of War, man, for $10, brand new in the fucking package. Yeah, brand new in the package,
nice.
bro.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, and that's a big game too.
Definitely.
Like I rented it because I didn't know how. I had the first one. I rented this one and thought I was gonna run through it over a few days, but no, that motherfucking game is
more.
deep and oh yeah, and I like to grind, so I was like, okay. So I bought it, and that stuff like that. When you can go take $25 and you can go to your GameStop, local GameStop, and you can go in there, and I guarantee you would come out with a couple games, 1 or 2 games of something that you wanted to play in the past, never got a chance to play it, or even a game that maybe have slipped under your radar. You're gonna come at it with something, and that's why I use GameStop for. I use it for going in and getting old games that I missed or passed up, and get good deals on. You can get some shit for $5, man. I mean, you go in there, and I just and in all games, all systems, PlayStation 3. There's still some games out there for the PlayStation 3 I want to get, and even PS4, like anything you want. The only thing that's not going to really drop is Nintendo products. You go in there and thinking you're going to win with Nintendo. It's not going to happen. Nintendo does not having it, man. I mean, there's still old DS games that are fucking full price. Used too, like what I'm saying. So Nintendo doesn't play because they deal with cartridges, and cartridges are expensive to fucking make. I don't know why they stuck with that formula if that was the case, but that's what they chose to do, man. I mean, don't get it twisted. I love cartridge games. That is my favorite form of. If I could have cartridge over disc, I would pick it every time. I just like the way they look.
What do you classify the things that the PlayStation Plus or the PlayStation Portable PSP used? Like those,
the PSP,
they had those little discs, but they were kind of like thicker, like a cartridge in a weird.
Oh yeah, the PSP. Yeah. The PSP was just like a baby disc. Yeah, it was just
like a GameCube disc,
because I have a PSP. Yeah, I got a PSP and love the PSP, man. They had some great games on the PSP, and it
didn't get a shot. It came out at a bad time, man.
The PSP though, are you talking about the PSP?
Yeah, I mean, like really that whole family of systems, the PlayStation Portable.
Okay. Because the Vita is actually pretty good too, man. Dude. Like
that's
that's
underrated.
The only one I don't have. Yeah, it is. I got my boy Jesse, man. He loves that fucking thing. And in Japan, they're still supporting. There's still a lot of things that they're doing out there.
I think you told me that actually.
Yeah, and I'm if I'm not mistaken, I think the PS Vita is region. I don't know if it's region locked or not. I can't remember. If it's not region locked, then I definitely would eventually pick one up.
Dude.
I'm waiting for that shit to drop all the way down, but I would like to have.
I think it just came out around the times that like smartphones were blowing up, so
Yeah, it's really got the hardware is so nice, man. It feels so good in your hands, and you can tell that it's made extremely well. Sony, that is one thing they are synonymous for, man. They
just like pulled the plug on it, like here. They just didn't even really they just put it down slowly.
Yeah, they didn't really make. Yeah, they didn't. They just didn't make a lot of games.
Stop talking about it. They're like, oh yeah, what?
Yeah. The developers, I don't know if they
What's
just.
the last thing
out here in
from
the West they shot away from
E3 that you remember them announcing for the PSP? Like I can't remember.
You mean the PS Vita?
Oh yeah,
because
the Vita. Because that's the last
okay.
one.
The Vita. I don't fucking know, man.
Exactly.
I really couldn't even tell you.
Exactly.
I couldn't tell you. But what's so crazy though, just because I can't tell you, don't mean there's shit out there. Because I've seen videos in the past where there's games that I'm like, oh, I would like to play that. Oh, it's on the Vita. Damn, I might have to pick up a Vita. And a lot of people are jailbreaking them and using them for, Yeah, a lot of people are using them for, they're homebrewing them and shit. Yeah, they're using them for, playing all kind of old games and stuff like that. Putting Nintendo 64s on them and shit.
But what was what were the game? What are your favorite games so far? I'm not meaning to put you on the spot or anything. It's just like it's kind of like PlayStation with their VR. It's like the idea is good. Like you guys are thinking of cool things to do, but you're not. Your execution's just off a little bit. Like there's nothing that you have to have on the PlayStation VR. Like the only experience that I would really want to check out is Resident Evil. But there's no game that's like you have to get VR for this, dude.
Yeah, especially as expensive as it was, man. It's just not worth it, man. They're not there yet technology wise, with that. You can look at certain things and you can just tell, some people just want it to want it, and that's fine. I mean, that's your preference and prerogative, but it's not there yet for me. I say next gen, we might be able to, start getting into that type of thing. I mean, I see where they're going with it, but nah, not right now, man. As far as games, I mean, I'm an open world RPG adventure type of player, And then second, I'm like a fighting game enthusiast. I like my good fighting games.
Let me ask you this real quick though: is the Vita better than the Switch to you?
I wouldn't know because I haven't really played the Vita. I don't know their library because I judge a system on its games, on its software. I don't judge it on the hardware. I mean, because it looks pretty or whatever. I have to have the game. If you gave me a cardboard box and said, "Man, this has all the fucking games you love to play on it," guess what? My favorite system would be that cardboard box. It's all about the game, baby. It's all about the game for me. So, when the price drops a little bit more, because it's still a little expensive, a little bit,
Yeah.
But like as far as the Switches, I'm enjoying it more than I thought that I would.
That's cool that it still surprises you. That's fun to hear.
Yeah, it is, man. Because you can just to be able to just pull it out of the dock and just take it to bed with you or whatever. You might be on a mission or doing something like fuck. I'm gonna lay down and play this, and you take it and you play it, or you go somewhere else, man. I mean, who wouldn't want to take 50 Sega games, on the go, on the road with them somewhere? And then it has, I mean, you got instant save states and stuff, so you can save like on the fly, like right there on the second. It's not, oh, let me get to a save point. No, I can save at the drop of a dime anywhere I want in any of these games, and a lot of them have online capabilities too. So it's just, yeah, man. That portability is really what I'm starting to see the appeal behind it. And then they have great first person games, the Mario Karts and the Breath of the Wilds and stuff like that. I mean, games that no other system's going to have. That's really also important too when you're dealing with certain systems. You have to have shit that nobody else is going to be able to have.
Yeah. I almost felt like Switch was like a double-edged plan for Nintendo. They were like, we could put this out as like a handheld hybrid, and if people like accept it more as a handheld, well then we'll just kick the DS out the door, and this is our new handheld, and then we'll make something that's like a little bit stronger, and we'll just call it, that's our console. I'm like, they're fully compatible because we're Nintendo, right? So I felt like they're like, hey, if people just dig that idea, we can roll with it. Like if they just like the Switch, like you are, like most people have, like we can stick with that and just focus on that. But it was kind of like, hey, this could go either way, and we have a plan for each like scenario. Like they think ahead, man. Like I mean, it's really weird stuff sometimes. Like they really got us into motion control. There's so many different things that Nintendo's always like progressively thinking forward. But sometimes that is a slow burn, and we catch on to it later. It's like they think of the things that we didn't know we wanted until you experience it. And you get to like play.
Yeah, but also, I mean, Nintendo is like, I have a love-hate relationship with them, man, because they'll give you some good shit, and then they'll turn around and hand you a lollipop and say, let's play some games. Yeah. Like, I'm not playing lollipop games with you guys, man. I'm not going to suck on a ball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And until I get to the stick. Yeah. I'm not doing that with you guys and what I mean when I say that is this, they do not give a fuck about their fans sometimes. It feels like they don't care. They don't listen. If you go to any average Nintendo Switch owner, and put them in a room and ask them, what do you want from this system? I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 of them motherfuckers are going to tell you, man, I want fucking native voice chat. I want dedicated servers. And I also fucking want you guys to do the virtual console thing. Like, that's probably the number one thing. Like, people want, they've done it with everything else, the Wii U and shit. Like, why not the Switch? That's a lot of them. They're losing so much money not doing that. They really are, man, and they need to tap into that. They have the means. They own the rights to it. Why not do it? I mean, there's so many games I would love to see, and who knows? Like I said before, who knows if that's up their sleeve? They could be planning this, but I mean, give us something. Yeah. I mean, especially the online thing, though. Everybody, that shit is so old. People were online in chats back on the PlayStation 2. You know what I mean? And you mean to tell me that you guys can't figure out how to make that a reality?
It's kind of, when you put it like that,
you know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I want to have friends. I got my PS4 friends, but I want some new friends. I want some friends that on the Switch. I'm playing games with them and doing this and doing that, and I like to build some kind of rapport with those guys too. You know what I mean? And it's not They're not doing it right now. So, and that's all that fans are talking about right now. Those three things, man. And
let me ask you this, dude.
Let's see if they listen.
Let me ask you this real quick. Who do you think is like secretly hoping GameStop goes out of business soon? Like, which company? Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony? Who do you think is more like, they've been hurting us ever since? Like, they got to go.
Nah, I don't think it's them, bro. I think it's the employees. Because I hear so many fucking stories, man. On the fuck, man, I promise you,
what
man.
Stories,
like
man?
Everybody, there's people, okay, like even people I follow on social media, like follow on YouTube, like RGT. 85. He was, he used to work at GameStop. I mean, I know a guy who was a manager at GameStop. I mean, I know they can't stand. They all hate it, bro. Like, I'm like, man, really? They love the games, yeah, but they hate what goes on behind the scenes and everything they put those employees up to do. First, and if you're not a manager, you're not getting paid anything anyway. Yeah. Those jobs are like for high school kids or whatever. But as far as how they treat their employees, man, I mean, they put so much pressure on them to sell things like, if you buy a game, you want to get some insurance on this. It's only $2.99 extra. Like those are big things to push for whatever reason.
That's just level one, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I did that. I do it for certain things. I did it for my son's, 2DS that he'll be getting for Christmas because he's 5. I mean, he might drop it or some shit in the toilet. Who knows? Shit like that. And I do it for headphones too. Anytime I buy a set of headphones, because headphones are funny. Sometimes, they'll fucking work forever. Sometimes the motherfuckers will crap out in a week. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it for that. But usually, man, I mean, they just
especially if you get something
I've heard
used,
nothing.
dude. Sometimes it's like you're
the cool thing, the cool thing about GameStop, one of the things that another cool thing is like, if you get a used game, man, you basically you're renting a game for, a week if you wanted to. So you can buy a used game and play it until 6 days later. Then
it sucks.
Get another game.
I don't want this anymore.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and turn it in and get something else, man. So you got to learn how to pimp the system.
Exactly.
Like, that's all that is. You know what I'm saying? Out here in these video game streets. And if you out here long enough, man, you'll figure it out. But that's why I wouldn't want to see GameStop go. But the employees, man, they can't stand GameStop. So that's what that is.
So it's like, we don't work there, so hey, you guys can stick around, but like, if you work at GameStop, they're like, yo, free us, get us out of here.
Yeah, it's not a good look. That's what I mean. That's everybody I've ever spoken to, for the most part, says that.
Man.
And there's exceptions. There are exceptions, but a lot of people they don't
find an exception anywhere. But I mean, look, man, I worked there. I had like an okay experience. It was one of the first jobs that I was like, well, at least I'm talking about something I like to sell. Like, hey, I like video games. But like you said, like some of the things that you've heard were probably true, and I could probably vouch for a few things here and there. There definitely is a like used carsman sale vibe that you kind of want to just like sell somebody something without trying to sell them something, just because you're passionate about a product. Like, yo, I love, the Final Fantasy series. Yeah. Oh, dude, let me tell you about it. And then you're just like, yo, I'll take the whole series, but you're not trying to get that dude or girl like, hey, you got one. All right, well, hey, the second one's used for like $30. You want to go ahead and throw that in? It's like, no, it just kind of came from like, you're passionate, but there's too much pressure. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But I love the people that work there though. Good man. People. Because have you noticed this, that everybody, the reason why I decided to call this podcast, a Dragonball and video games, is because anime is kind of like in the same family tree of, gaming. Like, anybody that I've ever talked to, man, about games, they have some kind of affinity for anime as well, or vice versa. If I go to an anime store, there's this store I go to from time to time called Anime Pop, and they sell all kinds of anime shit, manga and shit like that. I go there and I talk to people there, and they're in the video games too. Like, it's kind of like it's all connected. But I love going. I can go to a GameStop tomorrow and just walk in and then get into a long drawn out conversation with an employee about an anime, some type of anime or some type of game. And if you also notice that a lot of those games are based off of anime and stuff like they just connect so easily, man. So very cool employees, man. All the people that I've met that work there have been nothing but, cool people.
For
and,
sure.
They just, it is what it is, I guess, when it comes to working there and shit. But
yeah, definitely.
I mean, just, I guess I'm gonna just leave that, leave that there and jump on to the next thing we need to talk about, I guess, and approach. One of the things I wanted to talk to for you guys out there listening is my experience with Red Dead Online. Now, if you guys don't know, which everybody fucking knows, the beta is out now. So you can go out here in these Red Dead streets and you can see what's out there, man. You can play games, you can, join posses and stuff like that. Now, if you're paying attention to social media and YouTube and everything that's going on surrounding this game, you might have some cause for concern. And it always comes down to, the pay system, like how you earn your money, how much things cost in this world and everything like that. Now, keep in mind, everything that I'm saying or about to say now, this is Rockstar we're talking about. They're a very good company, and I'm sure that they're going to correct a lot of these things that's going on. Because like I said, the key word here is beta. It is a beta right now. But I'm going to address a couple of things that I, didn't like about, my experience. But, everything else was good. These are just a couple of things. And hopefully they get these things fixed and changed up. One of the things that I had an issue with on this shit was when you go to create your character, and you're out there doing your thing, there's only like 3 different skin tones, man. So, and they're all light or white skin tones. Like, I was so amped to make, my character who was going to go by the name of Gus Longstrong.
Nice.
And right now,
nice. I like it.
Yes, that's his name. But right now he looks like a swirl baby. He's mixed. He's what I'm saying? Because there's not a dark skin. But what's so crazy, I'm like, well, damn. Playing the story online, I'm sitting right next to an MP3 to an NPC who fucking looks like I want my character to look like, and I'm like, man, okay. And I'm like, and I had to tell myself, okay, it's a beta, man. So it's a fucking beta. Let it go, and so I did. But here's the next point. This is the biggest point. This is what everybody's talking about out here in these video game streets when it comes to Red Dead Online, and it's the way that the currency right now is where we're at right now, the currency thing. Okay. Everything is high as fuck. Everything is, I'm telling you, it's for a shotgun, like your basic shotgun, man, I think it's like $400. Yeah, man. And then like, when you drop an NPC or something, and you search his body, he might have 6 cents on his body. You know what I mean? So like, they're not giving you. And then there's the currency that they have. You have money, and then you have fucking gold bars. That's the thing. Now, the gold bars is what can be bought with real live cash. Okay. Now, if you get gold in the game, you're not going to get a whole gold bar. You're going to get like a piece of a chunk of a gold bar. So you got to, do missions and stuff like that. And you got to find maps and stuff like that. Now, I don't mind grinding,
right.
at all. In fact, I love the grind. But right now, if you're looking at, how they're doing it, it's a little lopsided. It's not that fair right now. They need to clean that up, in my opinion. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. There's a lot of people who feel like this. And like now, we live in a day and age right now where you cannot, if you're a developer, anybody really, if you're a fucking comedian or you're just an athlete, you cannot slip, too hard. If you get caught slipping, if you get caught down bad, it's not going to be good for you in these streets. Because all it takes is that one fucking YouTuber, okay, with a little bit of clout, and he can fucking lay you down.
Wow, yeah.
He will lay you down, and next thing you know, it will it will be a domino effect, bro, and it'll be all over. So you got to slow your roll, and you got to watch yourself. And look, I'm glad it's in a way it's like that, because that means that a lot of these developers need to be walking on eggshells, because I don't even think that Rockstar itself had made that initial decision, but they're testing us. Don't get it twisted. They're testing us. They're basically drawing a line in the sand and trying to see where we're going to, how far we're going to let them go. You know what I mean? Case in point, this whole deal with this money shit. Like, if nobody says anything, then we're just not going to say anything. So they're putting it out there, and they're waiting to see what people are saying. they even give you, they even encourage you to go to their website and, basically, air out your grievances right there. Tell them what you don't like. Tell them what you would like to have changed. That's why I say Rockstar, have faith in them. I think they're smart, and I think they're going to listen to their fans, because for the most part they do. Mm-hmm. But it depends on how far, because sometimes they go too far. With GTA 5, I mean, it's a fucking joke right now out there because it's a pay-to-play type of thing. Like people are out there with all kinds of outlandish weapons and crazy-ass shit. And if you're just a casual player trying to get out there and do your thing, you're not going to make it. You know, you get your hair blown up trying to get a tattoo and shit, you know what I mean? Or doing whatever, little simple shit. So we don't want to see this game do that. And also we don't want to see, shit, too damn prices just fluctuate like that. It's too high, man. They need to fix that. But those are really my only two gripes right now going into this beta. I know they're going to add more things to it. I know there's going to be more to do. And I have high hopes for this game, this online mode. So we'll see. I'm not going to criticize them all the way just yet. Those are just a couple things that I didn't like. And like I said before, it's just the beta. So this is what we're supposed to be experiencing. We're supposed to, leave our feedback and everything. So that's pretty much what I wanted to leave on the table when it comes to Red Dead Online right now.
Got you. Yeah, because I haven't played it, man, but I did get to watch my friend, like, Denji. He's a streamer on Twitch, and, like, some of our other friends. I've seen them play all weekend. I felt so left out, man. It was, like, it looked so fun, and I had actually had the plan Friday to go to Redbox and pick up a copy of Red Dead and, like, rent it for the weekend and just, like, hey, I'm just going to try out the online mode, if anything, because I was just like, man, they're having such a blast. And,
man. That whole game, though, the story, you gotta play the story.
The original game? Good. Oh, hell yeah, man.
The original, it's fucking, it's that's why I bought it. That's the main reason. I didn't buy it for the online. I wanted to play the story, but the online was just cherry on top.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
For me.
Good on them, man. I almost thought this weekend, I was like, what kind of online mode would God of War have?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine if they did something like Rockstar's doing?
Yeah, that's a different beast.
That's a whole different beast. But I'm like, dude, that's the one thing that game
God of War is
just a multiplayer. Now,
God of War is a fucking classic.
So do you take that in consideration when you think of Game of the Year?
Yes. God of War is my Game of the Year. If I had to choose right now over Red Dead.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But buy a hair. Buy a hair.
Do you have who's up?
Buy a hair, though.
Do you have who's up for, like, Game of the Year right now?
Oh, me personally, no. I don't know. The Game Awards is literally like days away. The Game Awards is like right around the corner. But my choice, I mean, right now is God of War for sure.
Shit.
Yeah, God of War first. It's over Red Dead. Red Dead is right under that. You know what I mean?
Now, have you beat the story mode of Red Dead?
Actually, no. I'm actually taking my time. I'm probably like, I'm close, but I'm dragging it out a little bit because I still want to do a lot of stuff.
There's no rush
in there and everything. Yeah, there's no rush. I'm taking my time with it, man. So, but what I've seen so far, I've pretty much seen what the game has to offer, and it's also depending on what kind of games you like too, because if you're more into the mythology of and what God of War is about and all of that type of fantasies type of stuff mixed in there, then you might be a little biased towards what your Game of the Year might be. But maybe that's the case with me. But I mean, I just love that game so much, man. The lore and everything behind the characters in that game, and really Kratos.
Yeah, that story.
He's just the story and how he's seen and
so good.
How they wrote for him on this. Like, he's a really, you can sympathize with this guy now. He's an actual character. He's not just a mindless, just a mindless creature out here in these streets just chopping down people. Like, there's a method to his madness, and it's just a great game and a great story. Let
me ask you this, dude. Have you ever went on YouTube and watched basically a video game but as a movie, but they just show all this the scenes, like the cinematographics or whatever? You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the cinematography,
Oh, you mean?
I don't know why it says cinematographics.
They cut out.
Man, my bad.
Okay, I know what you're saying. Like, there's the story basically. The gameplay cut out and just like the full thing. Yeah.
God of War is like one that I can see as a movie. Like I've seen.
Man, I'm gonna tell you another one.
Really?
I'm gonna tell you another
okay,
one that you should just go watch the story.
And Red Dead has a story, and I know it has some feels, but there's so much open world in between that, you know, I think everybody's experience is really different on that game. In some ways, probably, and I haven't played it, but God of War seemed like it was open world, but it was like steering you through this story.
Yeah, you know? It kind of, it's like sections of openness. Like, so, you know, you can go, once you get into one area, like you can explore that whole area, you know, and and then if you wanted to go somewhere else, you take a boat and you go to another area, and then kind of like that. Yeah. But the way it was done, it's so beautiful and so seamless. With even where the camera's located, right slightly behind you, like, you know, right behind your shoulder, it just plays so smoothly into. And that game was sold out. Like, I went to Black Friday sales and everything like that, and you know, like, just me being in the store, like the people I counted like 8 or 9 people that went in there and said it was looking for God of War because it was for $17.
Whoa,
like that game was $17 for Black Friday, and man, you can't find that game anywhere. Like, good luck finding that shit. Like, everybody was like, "Do you still have God?" Man, they sold out of them fuckers like hotcakes, and deservingly so.
For sure.
That game is, people do not. I mean, I'm telling you, they do not.
Yo, is that a better game, bro? Is that a better strat on their part to release it when they did, and still gonna make good holiday sales because it's gonna be like really cheap and affordable compared to like a game that like Red Dead that just came out, and like you couldn't get it like for sale, but you were gonna get the game anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the perfect time. Like, you know, that's why Black Friday, you got to learn how to shop the right way when it comes to that type of stuff too. So it's not always good to buy every game when it comes out. I mean,
that's a good point.
If you do, you're not doing it right, because let's keep it real with each other. Nobody really has that much time on their hands to play everything like that. There's just too many games out now. So, you know, it's almost good to wait on certain things and come back for them, because you know, I've done it and I'm going to continue to do it. It's only the games you really, really want right now that, you know, I guess you can say deserve it. But then you'll run into a game that you bought for like $10 and you passed up and you're like, man, this game was awesome. And you're like, fuck, I would have gladly paid full price for this. Right. You know what I mean? But I mean, I have so many games I'll just buy and I haven't played them yet. Like, you know, Shadows of War, I haven't played it yet. I bought it, but it's just still sitting up with my rest of my games. I'll get to it when I have some time, or when I want to dig through the game library or whatever. But I wanted to bring this up real quick on Red Dead real quick, because I forgot to mention right now with the beta. Right now, there's no way to really play a passive mode either. That's another, you know, baby gripe that I had because everybody can see everybody on the map. When I first jumped in and started playing, as soon as I jumped in, man, I'm just minding my own business. I get fucking, you know, roped off my horse, pulled off my fucking horse and shit. Yeah, somebody just fucking just did it. Like, I don't know who this guy was or anything. He just jumped. I was like, what? So he did it. Then he fucking ran off, and then he came and did it again. Shit. And I was like, okay, that's a wrap. So he did it again, and I just fucking I put about I put about 24 hot nickels and quarters in his body. I mean, with my rifle, man. I mean, he was dead, and I continued to fucking, you know, click clack on him. I recorded it too. I saved it. I'm gonna go through the footage and I'm gonna post it on Instagram.
That's so crazy though.
It's but like, they do not play. They will fuck with you. They will troll the fuck out of you.
Is it bad?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If they want to, I mean,
it depends. It's like the real world.
I ate him up. After I ate him up, he stopped. He stopped then. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'll go back and forth with you all day.
Isn't that the thing about Rockstar games, especially when it comes to multiplayer and online? Like, I feel like it's like a reflection of the real world. People feel like they can do things that they wouldn't normally do in real life because it's so oddly realistic, and there's such a freedom.
Right.
That when you see people in GTA, what do? Sometimes people play that game and they never play the story. They just want to go around, steal cars, and do crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. And people do that in Red Dead, I'm sure. Especially after shows like Westworld and stuff like that. Like, you know, Westerns, they could be making a comeback. You got Logan, that was very Western-like, you know, and here comes Red Dead Redemption 2, you know.
I mean, one cool thing that, you know, I think that they're going to do with Red Dead, and I've experienced a little bit of it, you know, since I was online, because the map is so huge, that I also enjoy linking up with friends and doing missions and stuff, but I also enjoy being by myself and grinding on my own, like
like a
hunting
lone wolf.
hunting for those excellent animal skins. And like I ran into some camps, by myself, and I had to take out the camp members and stuff like that, and I got money from that. Doing that type of stuff too. So you want to have a balance of both of those type of things. So you can't necessarily do a lot of that sometimes if somebody's just, for whatever reason, got you on their radar and they want to troll you all night. So just there's got to be a passive mode where you can turn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's got to be a mode where you can turn it off, kind of like in GTA 5, and do your thing.
They're fucking up your gaming experience. Go get your hair done. They just want to dick around.
Because you want to give the player the choice, to have that, you do that or whatever. So I think they will, because they did in GTA 5, so they'll do it.
For
they'll
sure.
do it here
in time. Like you said, beta.
Yeah, beta. So I'm letting in. Rockstar is one of the only companies that I will, I'm not really looking at them too bad, because like I said, they're Rockstar, and they usually look out for
batting average.
The fans.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they
don't really mess up.
Yeah, they
you gotta trust them. Some of these companies, they testing us, but Rockstar's been pretty accurate, pretty faithful. They're pretty realistic, even with like you're talking about the gold bars, and that reminds me of like the shark cards from GTA and stuff. I mean, but exactly. I think that's like people are like really trying to figure out like, how is this gonna work? See, what happened was games used to get made, then they were done, they sold them, people bought them, it was done. The transaction was over. Mm-hmm. Now with online and multiplayer, it's like, you make the game, it's released, and now you still work. You got to make this game run for another year. Yeah. And so, like, how do those people get paid? But then, okay, so how do you expose that? Like, should that be the message that's being put out there more? And so when you do get something for like a microtransaction, you don't feel like you're being tricked into it, or there's like a gambling, because that's been coming the debate now. But people got to look at the flip side and think, well, yeah, but they're supporting this game, like Call of Duty or Black Ops. If you're playing online, I mean, somebody's working and making sure that's running, that they're adding updates, that they're making bug patches and all sorts of stuff all the time. That game released, but they're still working on it. And that's like especially the case for early access. There's people working on that right now. Betas, all sorts of. Every time you're playing a game nowadays, it's not just a finished product. Somebody's still working.
It's oh my god, bro. I mean, Capcom. I just pops in my. I mean, I love the gaming industry. I love the gaming world. I mean, I spend half my life in somebody's game, playing somebody's game. So. But there's some ugly pieces, there's some ugly things about it too, man. That's especially, really when I want to say in the last 15 years, man, it's starting to come, especially now, more
so
prominent
transparent
in the last 10.
Yeah.
I mean, Capcom is a perfect example of this. Okay. And it's with Street Fighter, with Street Fighter 5. I love Street Fighter 5, man, but they did everything so wrong with that game from the time it was released to even now. They're just so greedy, man. Capcom is so fucking greedy, bro. Like a fucking. I mean, if you want to add
okay,
Sakura,
are they like on
Sakura,
at risk here?
I don't understand it, man. Sakura, Sakura, however you want to pronounce her name. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. She's broken in a bad way. Okay, she for real. And then on top of that, if I want to get an outfit for her, like her, and I'm talking about the original outfit that everybody knows her from, the schoolgirl outfit. That shit is $3.99.
You gotta buy yourself real
for
clothes.
one outfit. For one outfit, one.
That's a little...
And then you want to buy a stage, okay, $3.99 for a fucking stage, for one stage, bro. They are really like that pisses me off, man. Every time and then if you want to, okay, well, how about getting it in game? Can we get it in game? Yeah, you can grind and save your money, but here's the fucked up thing about that: no matter how much in game money you get, guess what? I can't get that outfit. I have to buy her outfit with real cash.
Oh my gosh!
Some things they have a gate behind some of that. Like you can't even buy this with in game cash with everything. Yeah. So they're like. Yeah, man, they suck. They suck with that. They really do, man. By the time you finish buying everything, it'd be cheaper to buy the Street Fighter now that's out, where you get all these characters unlocked and everything. You know what I mean? I mean, it would. if you wanted all those characters and stuff like that, it just when I think about that, I get pissed off, man.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
You know,
I'm not going to get all doomsday prepper about it right now, about the whole industry and how on the direction and stuff, because it could be very a long rant and like very easy to talk about. I mean, I will say one thing that I think is because if you have played video games for like an extended period of time and you're older, I think that you know what gaming used to be. And and to see like the transition and the growth and the good stuff that's come from, you know, these latest generations and stuff, but you can also see the bad stuff. And like there's kids that are having their first gaming experience. Like I think about it today, I'm like, damn, some kid, like if I was a kid, I would have been so into Fortnite. Like, I mean, and that's not to say if you're an adult and you play Fortnite that you're a kiddie or anything. Like, I played Fortnite for about a year. But I was thinking, like, a kid, like, that's a crazy experience. Like, dude, it's free. There's 100 people. Like, everybody here at school can play this game. My whole classroom can play this game. You know, and just, like, the whole nature of it all. But then, like, there's those... You know, hey, it was already tough to like try to like stay up to date with everything in real life. Now you gotta like, hey, Joey, you don't have the latest skin in Fortnite, bro. You're a loser. You don't know like, you know, the cool new dance. You know, there's a pressure now. Like, hey, mom, I need to use like, can I get some V-Bucks because, you know, I'm getting made fun of at school or something, you know, there's like this whole another pressure, like for, you know, and that's like, that goes into like a lot of things, man. I think because, the game is free on its surface, but there's going to be a social pressure. Like that's a way to establish like your presence on the game. Like people take in, oh, you have a nice skin, you must be good at the game. Like, and if you just play as like the regular skin, people think that you're a noob, and you know, so there's like almost like a status due to like what you got going on there. So it's kind of teaching some weird things, I think, like subliminally. You know, just if you think about certain things, you're like, this is kind of weird, and it's not like what it used to be. Like you just earned things. You played, you grind, you did good enough. You broke, you know, records, earned achievements, right? And, you know, hey, if there's some bugs, there's some bugs, but.
That's one thing if you do that and you get a free to play game, but it's another thing if you spend $65 with tax and then you like Street Fighter and you fucking get nothing. You get a half finished game. So it just depends on, you know, what kind of lens you look at it through, because there's different scenarios. But yeah, I mean, I understand the free to play. I mean, they're designed for that purpose. In a sense, and even if you spend, you know, $15, $20 on a free to play game, I mean, you can probably rock out with some decent things for that set amount of money, and that should be enough to get you, you know, through somewhat, you know, until you grind enough to do whatever else you need to do. But you know, that's why a lot of retro games, in my opinion, are coming back.
Good point. And it's like games like Metal Gear Survive that was like charging people to have more than one save file on its game. You're like, that's unheard of, man. Where are we going with this? Like, that's like default shit. You better not be charging me like, hey man, real quick, let me drop you this. This is the game of year. These are the games. All right, it's Red Dead Redemption 2, Monster Hunter World, Marvel's Spider-Man, God of War, Celeste, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I played like one.
I haven't even, man, Odyssey.
I've played 4 of them.
I have Odyssey. The Odyssey is so big.
Is it? I've heard a lot of good things about Odyssey. Yeah, at first I heard it was kind of weird.
Huge.
Like,
no, it's good. It's good. It's
people
just
are just haters too.
I haven't got a chance to get around to it. It's a popular game. Now a lot of people love Odyssey. Like, matter of fact, somebody at GameStop, I forgot her name, but she's playing it right now.
Really?
That right now. Not the new one that came out, but the you know. Oh no, Odyssey. Oh no, Odyssey. Okay, you're talking about Odyssey. I'm talking about Origins. I'm playing. I have Origins.
Either one, they're both pretty good from what I've heard.
Their Origins is huge. Yeah, Odyssey. I'll let the price drop and get it because it came out not too long after the other one. So I'm like, I'll wait until I finish. At least let me finish the first one first and then jump on that. But yeah, man. Those are the games. I already know what's taking that.
Red Dead.
Well, it's going to be between Red Dead. It's going to be between Red Dead and God of War. Man.
Definitely.
Those are going to be the front runners, man. I'm telling you right now. And I think God of War is going to win it. I just think God of War is going to win it, bro. you know, whether it wins or loses, it's my winner.
Do you think anybody got cheated?
Really,
is there a game that should be in that category that didn't make it this year?
Oh my God, there's so many games, but
would you throw Fortnite in there just because of like the
fuck no
the success that it had? No. I mean, like it, love it or hate
Fortnite
it.
Is a Fortnite is a fucking, you know, a Justin Bieber, you know, phenomenon. It's
just a trend.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not. It's a pop game. Yeah, it's one of those. If it was a song, it'd be a pop song.
Like really good, repetitive.
It'd be the pop song of the year.
In your head.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's something like that. It'll once it dies, it will be dead. Like once it's over, it'll be over. And then on top of that, it's online only. So when the server finally goes down, I mean, all you do is be talking about memories of it, watching old gameplay footage.
Exactly. Remember.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that's what that is. Everybody's riding the wave of it right now, and I don't.
What about Fallout 76?
I play what I want.
I feel like that should have been up there. I feel like we've stamped our names against like we're Fallout 76 haters, God. And hey man, I mean.
I'm a Fallout 76 realist.
There you go.
Okay, that's what I am. I've never been a hater of anybody. I loved fucking Bethesda at one time. I mean, I played the Elder Scrolls games. I played, you know, Fallout 4, but in all the other Fallouts, Fallout Vegas was my shit. You know what I mean? But I mean, God damn it, man, it's enough. You gotta say enough.
You think it's getting hated on a little too harsh now? Do you think it's just cool to hate it?
I think
like that happens.
I think they deserve No, I think they deserve what they're getting right now, man, because they've played with us, played with our emotions a little bit too long, and they thought, like I said, they were untouchable. They were going to get away with it. I'm serious because they witnessed what happened with EA. They're not stupid. Like all the shit was going on.
I know, man. There's so many examples, and
that's exactly. Now you got Battlefield. I mean, all these people are coming down hard. On these companies, man, and they're sinking their battleships. Yeah. So. That's what I'm saying. Like Fallout deserves this. They should have saw it coming. They are a
The rebellion has started.
Company. They're $1 billion company.
Join the rebellion.
They have money they have so much money.
We're taking.
You mean to tell me you couldn't fucking pay enough programmers? You could not pay enough testers.
Do it to them. Get it, studio.
Bro, they're lazy, bro. They're lazy, man. I'm telling you, and they're paying for it, and they deserve everything they get.
Well, hopefully they
especially
learn.
PC. They're especially the PC version. Oh my god!
Is it trash? Is it that bad?
Man, they are fucking. You can't go anywhere on YouTube. You type in game on YouTube and that shit pops up.
Doesn't that suck though?
Like man, that's terrible, bro.
Oh man.
It is. And then they said they're using the same engine going forward with fucking Elder Scrolls, the new Elder Scrolls game, and fucking no, man. You just shit on everybody. Like
you have the ability as a company nowadays to literally just say a sentence, post it, and get reaction, and kind of go, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't say this because, like, hey, I just said like online Fallout, huh?
Man,
and they're like.
I'm telling you. I mean, and then you got man, it's so much. I mean, you got the fans out there of Diablo and stuff. Man.
They're
like
hurting.
putting out the fucking mobile game. Like they were like, we came all the way out here, spent our money to come to this event, and you motherfuckers hit us with this.
Yo.
Like they better stop. They better stop, man.
Can I ask you a question, studio?
All
right, man. What if you had to name like one thing off the top of your head, real quick, biggest disappointment this year in the gaming world? What would you have to say it was? The first thing that comes to mind. Like, don't even try to give it too much thought. Just think of something that was like, that left a bad taste.
Man, Bethesda. Man. I'm just say Bethesda.
Were you really looking forward?
That's the first thing that pops in my mind. Maybe
to Fallout 76.
Me and some friends were definitely looking forward.
It was a cool idea,
man. Actually. That's what I'm saying.
Also, what's pissing people off is like it had potential.
Yeah, it did, but it doesn't work for online play, man. Especially the number one thing is the VAT system.
Boring
the VAT system,
man.
The VAT system is Fallout 7. It is Fallout.
True.
Like you have to have a broken VAT system, man. I was like, man, I can't do it, bro.
That's not with that.
And then some people, like, I got some friends who actually still bought it. They still bought it.
Too.
And they're, oh, god damn. Oh, I don't know what
I
to
don't
say.
know. Join the rebellion. Me and Studio are trying to change gaming culture. We're giving the voice back to the people.
If you like it, if you like it, hey, I'm not gonna hate you, man, for it. I'm not gonna hate anybody on anything that you play. If you're playing a game, I'm a gamer, so I can't hate you. If you're having
fun with it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you're having fun with it, man,
people think
exactly. I'm just talking about my perspective, man. Like what I play. It's not gonna be fun to me, so I'm just not gonna do it.
But that shouldn't hold you back from saying how you feel about it either. Yeah.
No, that's right. I'm gonna do that. That's what this podcast is for.
I like that.
I mean,
hey man, because I know it's not like to like get and push down, like you said, like, hey, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Hey, that's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah, man.
I'm still gonna tell you what I like, and I'm also gonna tell you what I don't like. And
Exactly.
I'm always open to hey, if you change my mind, change my mind. I want all these things to be good. I want it all to just like click where everybody's having a good time, and there's just a lot of things that, hey, you can talk about the good, but you might have to talk about some bad. So
yeah, I mean, it's hard to get a game to be perfect. Almost, I mean, it's damn near almost impossible. I mean, but God of War for me was damn near.
So much emotion.
It was damn near perfect.
So much, I know.
So damn perfect, man. Yeah, so much lore too. That. Like just the fact that you could finish the game and not even fight one Valkyrie, or you could if you wanted to get extra lore out of it and find out, more about them and that mythology and everything like that, and just how they were designed and. Like everything about that shit was just lit as fuck.
Dude,
I loved it.
It's kind of win. It's got like look. It's in best narrative. It's in best game direction. It's in best action adventure game. It's gonna at least win something.
Yeah, it's winning that. Yeah, it's definitely gonna win that.
Audio design, score and music. The music and score in that game is so good.
I mean, just everything was on point. I mean, everything. The animation, the mouth, how they moved and everything, like how they spoke. Like Kratos in this game, oh my God, bro. They killed it. The only thing I'm missing is a Kratos figure. I meant to buy one. Man. And I keep meaning, to add to the collection. I have to put Kratos.
Someone help this man. Somebody help this man.
Yeah, man. He's got to be over there with Batman, Dark Knight. I got fucking... who else is over here? The Dark Knight. I got my boy. I got the X-Men over here. I got Spider-Man.
Wolverine.
He needs a spot. No, I don't have Wolverine. I'm a Spider-Man guy.
Who's your favorite X-Men?
I'm a Captain America. Cyclops.
Hey, that's cool. I like Cyclops.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate Cyclops.
Yeah. I know.
But we got to defend Cyclops. He's just trying to do his thing. You can't hate him for falling in love with a girl. Hey.
Or believing what he believes.
Hey, that first and foremost.
You know what I mean? And sometimes
I like Wolverine though.
I can't fault him, man. Yeah, Wolverine goes hard.
He's cool. So
he's one of the X-Men poster boys for.
Sorry.
I would love to see a movie just about like Cyclops, like literally just him, or somebody like that. I like Iceman too, man, which is fucked up, especially more so the early versions of him or whatever. So definitely. I mean,
Bobby Drake's a cool character.
And I loved him in the fight, the Capcom games. Like I loved him in the.
I can't wait for X-Men to come to the MCU, dude. I'm just so ready for that.
Yeah, that's politics.
Oh
man.
yeah, I know.
You know how that goes. Politics and gaming
everywhere, man. Can't avoid it.
Exactly. Speaking of movies, though, while we're talking about this, I mean, something you brought to my attention last week was a show, an anime that's very popular. I actually own this anime. And it's coming out with a live action movie, man, on Netflix. Netflix is just, they're fucking, man, they are drinking the courage juice in abundance, man. They're going for everything, whether it's going to be good or bad. They're doing it. I got to give them credit for at least that. They're actually working on a Cowboy Beebop live action series, man. Like, I mean, when you told me that shit, I was like, what? I don't know it's
crazy.
I'm speechless.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, I'm speechless.
It kind of drives me crazy. I just hope
they do it. Man, they could make it. Man, they can make it or break it, bro. Like, how do you feel?
Oh man,
how do you feel this is going to go?
I kind of felt like it was coming, dude. I mean, look, let's be honest with each other, man. There's a lot of crazy animes out there, right? Especially if you watched enough of them, you kind of see that there really is no boundary to this art form, okay? When it comes to something like Cowboy Bebop, man, So they're like ordering a like 10 episode season on Netflix. Okay, so you're getting Netflix money. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to get a good casting in there, obviously, but Cowboy Bebop is set in a universe where it's pretty grounded. Yeah, there's some like sci-fi elements, but they're basically
there is a lot
spaceships. It's like in the near future, I think. I can't remember the exact time, but like there's like a mixture of like, hey, yeah, we have ships and stuff, but some of that art seems like it's paying respect
and watch.
To like, I don't know, 90s and 80s styles and stuff like that. So anyways, but it's about space pirates, man. I mean, so I feel like they can get that right, and they can also get people to really like the biggest thing when it comes to anime is like believe what you're seeing. Like it's one thing to see it on like in the animation, but like to actually see real people doing these things, I feel like it has the best chance. I mean, it only takes one. Okay, so hey, if they get this right, then that gives hope to live action anime, Mike. And I feel like there's a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, but there's been some flops already. Definitely. Death Note flops. There's been some other ones, man. But I really hope it. Now, if you ask me, I think it's going to be easier to do something like this than what we talked about, like as far as like Dragon Ball or something like that, because it wouldn't shock the system. Like if I saw this, it wouldn't shock me as much as it would shock me if like they try to do a live action version of Piccolo.
Yeah, and people flying.
Like how would you? And how would you? It just
CGI.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know, man. I really hope they do this well, because I'm telling you right now, Cowboy Bebop has a deep has a cult following that you don't want to fucking play with. All right, they're giving you the keys to something very special right now, Netflix, and I really hope, as an anime fan, I just hope that you do this right, man.
Maybe that's their new direction, right? So maybe they're like, okay, we've tried to do a couple live action movies, and they're just not as good. Maybe they have to flesh these characters out. Maybe they have to like go, hey, here's basically a 10-hour movie. There's 10 episodes. There's probably and this like really gets you invested in this world, in these characters, and just like anything that might be beyond belief, quote unquote, which there's not a lot in Cowboy Bebop. I mean, they use guns and spaceships. I mean, it's not so crazy,
Right. It's just him as the character. I mean, his hairstyle, man, has got me like the first thing that popped in my mind was like, okay, I wonder what the guy's gonna look like, because his shit is like a mushroom kind of like this. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm like, how are they gonna do this?
How do you do like, I'm
anime
anxious to see how they're gonna in real life though? Like, how do you pay respect to the original without just using real people hair?
That's the interesting part, I guess. Because look, if the story is good and everything like that, I'm gonna try to be approach this the right way. Definitely. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's just so hard when your eyes are used to something and you see this and you're like, man, he doesn't look anything like this, bro. Like, this is not what his character embodies. Yeah. Like, but I'm hoping we'll see.
I mean, casting will have a lot. Will play a big factor. I mean, like, even if they get the atmosphere down, even if they get the story, maybe even like the character traits, like their personalities, like, there's just something about that voice and the aesthetic of watching that animation, that's really going to be challenging for some, especially if you're a fan of the series. I feel like I often think, weirdly enough, like if I watched Dragon Ball Evolution and never saw Dragon Ball, what would my opinion be on that movie? But I'm saying, like, so if I was never, like, I have no background about Cowboy Bebop, I'll be really, really interested to hear what the listeners have to, like, say about something. Like, I challenge you, like, don't go and watch Cowboy Bebop if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, see, I was going to.
No, wait.
See, I was going to rewatch it, but
no.
Maybe I should just chill.
And see how this develops, and then watch that. And it would be really interesting to see, like, oh, yeah, like, that was really cool. And they've never seen Cowboy Bebop. And then see the reaction of people that, are familiar with the series. Because I feel like that plays a big part in, like, that whole reaction to like what these fan built series that that are going through some changes like this by coming from animation to live action. You have expectations, but how can you make realistic expectations for that? There's so many things that are just not translatable, and it's going to be really difficult to please everybody. It's going to be a compromise. Somebody's going to get cut. Sorry, we got to get the roster down to 52. So there's only we can't do all 100 things. We got to bring it down to 52 things. Okay, you can get like really good actors and actresses. We'll get a good director, somebody who knows the series. Let's have like people that work on like the art, sets, things like that. Be familiar with the anime. Talk to the creator. Talk to like people involved. Try to like you pay your respects, and like I think if you just try to do the best job you can, and I
think it can be done. It's just got to be done right. Kind of like the MCU. Does their shit. I mean Thanos doesn't look like Thanos out of the book, but he has a lot of his traits. And I believe that was Thanos because he embodied that character.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Even though he didn't look like him to the T, but you knew that was their version just of Thanos in that universe. So you knew if you were watching an MCU movie that when you see it, oh yeah, that's Thanos. Not just how he acts and everything, but he has similarities, a lot of similarities to the actual. A lot of people want him spot on, and I'm not even saying that with the Dragon Ball shit, man. You don't have to be spot on like how you look, but I mean that was just off.
Yeah,
man.
that was
period. Like it was just completely. Yeah, it just was wrong.
The setting, everything about that movie was just we're gonna go into that movies if we get into that though. So.
Yeah, I'll put that on the table.
I think Netflix has the money too. Like they better not put out Iron Fist crap. It better be like to point, man. I mean, hey, look, whatever you spend Netflix right now, you'll get back double, maybe even triple. There's some loyal fans to this, and if you get this right, you're gonna have new fans, and
they're taking some chances like a motherfucker though. They are on some of these things, and I hope as an anime fan, I want it to do well. I want any adaptation anime to do well, man. And which brings us to, I guess we're going to approach the main topic. Well, I don't even want to call it the main topic of this podcast, but like games that you want to play. Like, what are your most anticipated games of 2019, man? Because we have a lot of shit coming out.
Oh, dude, I wrote it down.
A lot.
I got you right here. So this is in no particular order right now because I kind of made this last minute. Because I'm kind of always like a month to month. Like, because the anticipation, it kills me. So I have to think short distances. So kind of just like, what's coming out in December? What's coming out in January? But, I went through and I looked up the games that are coming out next year. And just based off of, like, name and what I know at the moment without, like, doing any research. Here's my list, all right? Jump Force, Anthem, Crackdown 3, Metro, Exodus, and Days Gone, Rage 2, Wargrove, which I just saw, but it kind of looks like Advance Wars, and it's going to be on the Switch and the Xbox One. It looked really cool, because they're never going to fucking make Advance Wars for some reason.
Oh, yeah, I have them on my DS.
Really?
I love those
lucky, dude.
games.
You're so lucky.
Bro.
There's supposed to be a new Star Wars game, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, I've heard about that one. To be announced, I think, though. Right?
And so, like, whenever I'm always down, I'm really looking for that redemption since Battlefront 2.
Yeah, they.
Dying Light 2, Death Stranding or Standing, that new one.
Yeah.
Let's see, The Last of Us Part 2, Metroid Prime 2, and Cyberpunk 2077. That's it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. You have an Xbox?
Dude, I don't have a one right now, man.
Oh, okay, because you said
I did. I want to see like that do well. I feel like I really need Microsoft to step up their game because I've got this like firm belief that hey, you want everybody to do well because if Sony feels like that they're taking the lead, then they're just going to start getting complacent. So Microsoft needs to be putting out, and you got to fight. Compete, but like, root for each other.
Yeah, the consumers win. Yeah, the consumers win when companies like that go at each other.
You're challenging each other to do better and think outside the box. And so we, the consumer, we, the fan base, benefit from that. So when Microsoft, everybody's like wanting to hate on them and go, man, they don't have any like, first party games worth getting, blah, 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 all this other whatever. I would say like, yo, I bought an Xbox One first. I was a loyal Microsoft, now I wouldn't say fanboy, but I was like, yo, I'm going to ride with them first. The PS4 is my first system, man. But so I really want them to do well because, I really hate the whole crossplay thing, how that's not working out with every game.
Sony's doing that now. They're back on the bandwagon. Yeah, they're actually back on with that.
Good, I hope so.
So they're going to play nice, man. But yeah, I mean, you just shocked me a little bit with the Xbox One thing. Look, I know there's a lot of Xbox listeners. I'm out here in the streets, and I don't mean any harm. I promise you, I don't. I mean,
is this good or bad? What are you about to say?
I'm just praying for you guys, man. I'm just praying.
You think they're?
And I'm gonna leave it at that, man.
You don't think they?
I mean, they're gonna have AAA games. AAA games are, every major system, PC, PS4, and all that. That's just basically what that is. But as far as their own shit, I mean, I don't see it, man. I think that they took all their eggs out of this Xbox One basket, and they're putting it in the basket of the future, the new system. They're already working on signing with a lot of these big time developers, going forward with the new system and the hardware that they got. And I think that's where their focus is right now. I know there's a lot of people who bought the Xbox One X, and they should be the ones that are most pissed because
that's an expensive system.
They spent all that money on that. Exactly, a beefy system that doesn't really have that many.
It's just kind of holding you over.
Unless you want to play just AAA only games that everybody has. But if you're looking for exclusives, then
you missed out on God of War.
You want to have. Man, you don't want to miss out on that. I'm sorry. That's a game that you should not.
The exclusives on Sony are where it's at. But I'll tell you what, real quick, man. When it comes to Microsoft and their next console, man, it feels like we're going to go into more of like a consoles or like PC because people are like starting to jump ship. Like I want to do a lot more PC stuff. If I ever had like the setup, I would definitely keep my PlayStation. Don't get it twisted. But I feel like Microsoft, I feel like they have the better chance at transitioning, like giving you a system, a successor to this Xbox, but it's like really just like a PC that's dedicated for gaming.
That's where it's heading, but also what I think is that all these other systems that are coming up, the PS5 and all this stuff, we're in an era right now where everything that's being made is almost on par or will definitely sooner than later exceed some of these PCs out here. So every sense of the word, you're just buying a PC. If Sony had a PC, that's what you would be buying with this PS5. I mean, with all intents and purposes, is what it is. True. The reason why I fuck with Sony hard body is not because of the system. I fuck with it because of the games and the relationships that they have with other developers, especially somebody like me who loves anime and who likes the Japanese culture. That is Sony. That is what Sony is about. That's pretty much all their relationships have. I mean, all these games that we get that nobody else gets, we're getting them from Sony because of these relationships that they have with these developers. We don't get that with Microsoft because they don't have those relationships. Microsoft is not going to call somebody from Japan and get a deal done if Sony is there first. It's just not going to happen. Now, if they can change that narrative going forward with their system, then you're cooking with Crisco. But if not, which I don't think is going to happen, Sony is why I'm going to stay with them moving forward. Now, if you do have a dope game and you do have, games, plural, let me say that, going forward, I mean, I would definitely fuck with Microsoft if it was about, I'm all about the games, baby. If you're not putting out something I don't want to play, then I'm just not into it. And while we're on this subject, I'm going to get into my list real quick of games that I'm anticipating, and we'll elaborate on what we just talked about. I'm gonna start with Jump Force, February 22nd. Anthem, February 22nd. That's the dilemma that I have. February 22nd, man. It's gonna be a fucking bad day for my wallet on that day because Anthem I've been really wanting to play. This is one of the only online games that I'm really looking forward to playing, because it just looks so awesome, and it's also EA, so like I'm treading lightly, but I think EA is putting all the shit and all their eggs in this basket, and they want to see this shit do well, and I think it's going to. I've seen enough gameplay footage to take that leap of faith. But Jump Force, definitely, man. That game, ooh wee. You talk about anime and gaming. It's all in one. It's a video game. It's a video game about anime characters. I mean, come on, man. You can't lose with that. Let's see what else. Kingdom Hearts 3. Love Kingdom Hearts. Didn't think I would when I first saw it. Thought it was a game that was for kids. It was kiddie or whatever. But when I got to play it and fell in love with the characters and everything about it and how the game played, beautiful story, beautiful soundtrack, and just it was beautiful, man. Beautiful game. Can't wait for that. Been waiting for years. Resident Evil 2, the remake, man. I mean, come on. Anybody who was an RE fan, who played the games, Resident Evil 2 was one of the best ones, besides Resident Evil 4, in my opinion. Resident Evil 2, though, the remake, man, I cannot wait to play this because it's a Capcom game. But Capcom, they don't do everything wrong, and they, you can't go wrong with this. It's basically two games, really, if you want to say 3 games in one, because you got 2 different stories from 2 different characters. You get to play as 2 playthroughs. Also, you get all the secret characters that were in the previous game. You get all these hidden characters and stuff. My favorite is Hunk. It's this guy he's like a special ops character, and he's made cameos in other games, but he doesn't talk. He just goes in, gets the job done. He's like an elite motherfucker, man. But all these guys are included in this game. They're giving us all the bells and whistles. Nice. Nobody's really talked about that. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is awesome. It's looking so good. That's one of the games we talked about earlier where you could just watch the fucking cutscenes and it can be its own fucking movie. Like that, man. Yes, I promise you. Go check out Beyond Good and Evil 2. I can't fucking wait for that. The graphics, the way that they got this game set up, it is definitely one. There's no announcement yet. I know that game is still in heavy development right now, but it's TBA to be announced. So gotcha. Cyberpunk 2077 is another one. We talked about that. We finally got some gameplay footage not too long ago. It's definitely a game that on the outside, on paper, I wasn't too excited about playing at first because it was a first-person view and it was supposed to be an open-world RPG type of game. But then when I saw the gameplay and how everything looked, it fucking changed my mind completely, and I cannot wait to play this game again. Set in a beautiful setting. The world is just, I mean, it's crazy. It's definitely immature, and those are kind of dark, gritty type of games, RPG open world games I'm into. So that's gonna be dope. Days Gone is another one. It looks interesting. I'm kind of on the fence on that one. That one's got a release date for April 26th. I don't know. I'm gonna step back and watch some people play that before I pick that one up. I don't know. I just feel some type of way about it, but I still kind of want to play it.
You burn out on the zombie craze.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of part of it, and in the way that it's playing. But we'll see. It could be good. Death Stranding. That is definitely a game that I didn't know a lot of shit about. Nobody did, up until recently. But this game, the more and more that I see and the more and more that I learn about this game, I'm intrigued. I cannot fucking wait.
What is this game about, dude?
I know this game. It's, man, you're a transporter of some sort, and you transport things, for people. You transport things for people for money or whatever. And your job is to guard.
It
these
looks
things.
so crazy, dude. Though, like, it took forever for them to finally give you enough, like, to kind of go, okay, I guess I get it. But like the first couple trailers, I was like, what the hell am I?
Right,
what am
everybody,
I watching?
exactly. Everybody felt that way, bro. Trust me. But now that, I mean, there's still no release date, but that's why everybody's itching for this Videogame Awards. We want to see, because there's going to be a lot of reveals with this Videogame Awards thing. We're going to see.
I heard Anthem's got
there's
something.
a lot. They said there's like 10 announcements for 10 new games or something like that. It's going to be a lot of shit.
Oh, dude, Studio, let me ask you, dude. Have you ever played Dragon Age?
Yeah, I have Dragon Age.
BioWare is talking about... they might be having some news this December, man.
Yeah, they're working on one. They're currently working on one right now. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, that game is really awesome. I never even beat it yet. I never got a chance to beat it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say
I got the edition that they have with all the bells and whistles. Nice. I have that shit. Next game on my list is Dead or Alive 6. February 15th release date, man. Love the Dead or Alive series. It was just a series hold close to my heart, man. Goes way.
I don't think I've ever played one, dude. I swear to God.
Oh
I know.
God.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dead or Alive. I love the fighting system in Dead or Alive, man. It's based on, it's very deep, and it's based on defense a lot too, parrying and shit, like heavy. And then they've always been known for the the boobs and there's the boob meter where you can turn it up and turn it down and everything like that. Excellent. That's coming out. Ghost of Tsushima. That's no release that's to be announced, man. It's it takes place in feudal Japan, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. It's an open world, adventure action game. In my wheelhouse. I love it.
Did they show that at E3, dude? That's what that was. Okay, I know what game you're talking about now.
Yeah,
okay,
they showed this game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's to be announced. No release date yet, but sometime in 2019 though. That's
really
all we know.
Nice. Good.
The Last of Us 2, of course. I mean, The Last of Us 1 was a fucking classic. It was a beautiful game, a beautiful story, dark but beautiful at the same time, with the characters, and then even the online portion of the game, which I didn't expect to even play, ended up being like a really big part of what I played. It was very fun. I had many fun hours on that mode, and I hope they do something similar with the new one that they come out with. But if they don't, hey, fuck it, I don't care either. I mean, the game's gonna be awesome.
Definitely. The first one was a classic, like you said.
Yes, sir, it was, man. The next game on my list is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. That is a From Software title. If you're not familiar with From Software is synonymous with games like should I even have to say anything? Bloodborne, and all those games, man, under that umbrella. They're just yes, the Dark Souls series, all of that shit. You know what I mean? I didn't even have to say anything. They're all priceless masterpieces for the most part, especially Bloodborne. Oh my fucking God, Bloodborne is so good.
It's so challenging though, dude.
I had so much fun, bro. It is, man, but I played with friends though. I beat that whole game with
really
friends.
That sounds fun.
Every boss I fought, I had somebody with me.
Dude, I wish you were streaming that or something.
I was too scared to play solo, man. That shit was fucking
that setting and atmosphere is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, man. And the lore, oh my God. I love lore in games. When shit that it's so fucking, it was dark, and it was a cursed game, and they took a lot of influences from Berserk for this game. Yeah. Even the curse mark. The curse mark they got that from Berserk. They use the same curse mark.
What? Really?
Yeah, man, straight up.
Damn, I didn't even notice that. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. There are Berserk fans out there in the streets.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, but that's coming out. It's March 22nd, man. So be looking out for that one. Another one, no, it's not. Another one, the Division 2. The Division 2, cool. March 18th, baby. Yeah, March 18th. I had lots of hours. I had a lot of gripes with the Division, but I also had a lot of fun times with friends in the Division because I felt at one point I was just chasing builds. You know what I mean? You spend hours and hours trying to get one build, and then they do an update, and then that shit is meaningless now. Now you're chasing another build. But I guess in a sense it was part of the fun. Playing with my friends in groups of 4, it was excellent game. So they improved a lot. Supposedly that's what they're going to be doing, and the atmosphere, the guns, and how the balancing and stuff works. So interested in playing this game. Let me see how many more games I got left. 2 more games. One is Biomutant. Biomutant is to be announced, but it is slated for 2019. Everybody's saying that it's going to be in the summer of 2019. I actually have a couple of videos on this title on my YouTube channel. You guys could check out, but this game is definitely something that it's its own game. I've never seen anything like it. It's an open world RPG action game, and you're this mutant, and you fucking you adapt to your environment. So if you're in water and you're trying to swim, you'll develop things on your feet to make you go faster.
It's called Biomutant?
Yeah, you got to check it out. Biomutant, man. Yeah. It's definitely dope. It's basically about a world where there's these trees that are growing, and they're not growing, they're already there, but there's these monsters who are eating these trees spread throughout the world. And if the trees are eaten, then the world will basically, come to an end. So they're eating the roots and shit of these trees. So you have to fucking go and find them and stop them. But what's cool about it is you can choose your own fate. You don't have to fucking save the world. You can fucking choose to let the shit happen and then find out what happens if you don't. And then on top of all of that, one of my favorite things about this game is the customization. I'm a sucker for customization. I love it, love it, love it. So with this game here, no two Biomutants are going to look the same. Like, you can morph it. You literally morph how you want it to look. If you want it stronger, it's going to be bigger and more stubby. If you want it, faster, it's going to be a little longer and more lean. Right. And no two are going to look the same. You can change the color of your coat. You can change your eyes. You can change everything. You can also use projectile weapons, and you can use melee weapons in all sorts of ways. There's pieces that you can find throughout the world and pick up. So no two guns are going to look the same. If you want a shotgun-esque type of gun, and we both want that kind of gun, your shotgun is not going to look like my shotgun. They're going to have different handles. They're going to have different barrels that we find in the world. Even different effects you can put on it. If you wanted fire, maybe electricity, maybe, something like that, you can put that on there. Same thing with melee weapons. I've seen anything from big ass swords the size of, something out of Final Fantasy VII game. Ooh. And I've seen things of, like a baseball bat with fucking, nailed all through the bat. And then variations of all of those things. So, I mean, and you can fly. I mean, there's so many different
crazy.
Things in this game. You gotta check it out. It looks.
You sold me, man.
Yeah, you gotta check. I mean, I think you're gonna fucking.
I'll definitely tell you what I think after. Is there a trailer on YouTube or gameplay?
Yes, there's trailers. There's gameplay, like short gameplay trailers. There's
you're gonna fucking me, dude.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And the last game is what we were talking about earlier, as far as why I fuck with Sony so fucking hard, is because this game's called Grand Blue Fantasy, and it's to be announced. There's no release date, but it is slated for 2019. It's basically an open world RPG, a JRPG, if you will, if you want to call it that. But it's beautiful graphics. The world. There's a nice, I want to say, nice 7 to 10 minute video. There's a boss fight involved in there where you can check it out. There's even a little section where before the boss fight, you're in a little town, and it looks excellent, man. I cannot fucking wait to play this game. And I did not think that it was coming to the West, but when I first saw it, it was Japan only. And then I was like, fuck, I want to see this in the West. And then we got confirmation that it is going to come into the West. It made my fucking day. And I can't wait to play this. This is another game, and it's only exclusive to the Sony. And like I said, man, they have so many games like this that are exclusive to the Sony. And that's why I fuck with Sony. But these are some of my 2019 anticipated games. I mean, if you want to have some honorable mentions on here, then there's Luigi's Mansion 3. There's going to be Metroid Prime 4 for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. There's also what else is there? What else? There's a couple other games that are coming out. No More Heroes for the Switch. Also Bayonetta 3. So those are some honorable mentions for the Nintendo Switch that I want to see and I want to play. And there's one other game for the Nintendo Switch. It's also available for all the game systems. It's called Horizon Chase Turbo.
Never heard of it.
That game, if think of 90s music, 90s racers for your SNES, and just think of those beautiful graphics. This game takes me there. This game is what that is. If you like retro type of music, retro style racers, arcade racers, this is the game. I stumbled upon this on accident watching one of my YouTubers that I fuck with playing this. I think it was Metal Jesus Rocks and some other guys, Radical Reggie and them. But yes, sir. And they were playing this shit, and I was like, yo, what is this game? And I said, is it out for the Switch? Please tell me it is. Yes, it is. It's $20. It's out now. So that's probably my next purchase besides the Sega collection with the 50 games. But yeah, man, those are my games most anticipated for 2019. It's a lot of games. I try to elaborate a little bit on some of those so you guys might have an idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, that is it. I kind of want to talk a little bit of Dragon Ball, but my guest, he doesn't want to be spoiled, so we're not going to do that to him. Man. We're not
join me, non-spoiled gang.
Yeah, we're not going to spoil it for him. And I'm sure a lot of you guys don't, because, and I understand that. I love Dragon Ball just as much as
Is there anything Dragon Ball we can talk about
that's
not spoiler?
No, not really, bro.
Was there any Fighter
Honestly,
Z stuff?
Not really.
Not Fighter Z. Fighters.
Actually, no, not any new news right now. They've added a couple updates not too long ago, different modes you can play in, but other than that, no. Everybody's waiting for season 2. They want to see what the next characters are going to be, who they're going to be. I already talked about, Roshi and Jiren wanted to be on that list, but yeah, man, that's it. I mean, I would love to talk Dragon Ball, but We're not gonna do it because, like I said, spoilers. And also, guys, tell this guy to start Naruto, please. For all my Naruto fans out here in the land, please, because we had another guest that was going to be on the show with us today, but he had some technical difficulties, and we could not, go forward with him joining us. But we'll probably try to address that sometime in the next couple weeks. But we're big Naruto fans. Me and this other guy that was supposed to be on the show. Bearded Buddha has not yet got there yet, but it's on his list. It's on his to-start list. He's going to do it, but I just need a little help to give him a little push. If you guys check him out on social media, which I'm sure he's going to leave his handle at the end, and you can catch this on YouTube as well, and it'll be there. But yeah, man, send this guy a message, tell him, ask him, check on him. Are you watching Naruto yet? You know what I mean?
The pressure.
It's that good, man. I'm telling you.
I hear you, man.
It's that
like I told you, I think before we recorded it. I kicked back last night and I watched a little bit of Toonami, and I caught an episode. It was like a random episode, like because they played it in order on Toonami, but like a week, man, I can't wait that long. So yeah, I would definitely have to hop on like a streaming service or something. But it looked like it was like a good time.
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, right?
Okay, yeah. The first 3 seasons are on Netflix.
Well, I could at least start it.
Okay, but that's more than enough to get you hooked, because that's how I got hooked.
Is it a slow burn?
That's how I got hooked.
Or is it going to like catch me in that?
No, it picks up pretty motherfucking quick. It's pretty, it picks up, bro. Like, it's not
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
It does. Top 5, no, fucking top 2.
What? Is that like you're behind Dragon Ball as far as top
Yes.
anime? Really?
Yes.
What's your 3?
Naruto is second. Man, it's between... Probably Berserk is number 3.
Okay, what's your 4?
Yeah,
it's gonna keep
Berserk
until you can't.
4 probably Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero.
Damn, cool. Wow.
And then 5 is probably Full Metal Alchemist.
And that's your starting lineup. Damn. Okay, they on the court.
Yeah, that's probably my starting lineup. Yeah. And there's some other good ones too. Don't get it twisted, but those are probably, if I had to just choose right now. Yeah,
I feel you. Damn.
Yeah, straight up, man.
Man, I don't really have a top list. I mean, because I've watched a lot of anime, but there's only been a few that have really sucked me in, and I've watched like from start to finish, and that's the ones that I consider like my favorites, I guess, because no matter where I started watching it, I went back and watched the beginning, and I watched it all the way to the end. And there's definitely a lot that I never watched in order. Maybe I caught them, after school or something, or just just whenever I could.
Yeah, it's very important to some of these anime to start them from, because especially with Naruto, because his character, like, you have to fully understand the gravity of the things that happen in that series. You have to see it all. And it will make you cry. I promise. That is the only anime.
The only one
that I have seen so far. I'm sure there's some out there that will fucking try me, but like that one questioned my manhood. Like, what
was like the most emotional, trying moment in Dragon Ball that ever like got you close? Yeah,
for me,
like
when Vegeta died.
Really? Well, what time? Because
right at the end, right when he was pouring his heart out to, Goku.
Oh, you talking about in the Super? What are we?
No, not Super. I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z.
Damn.
That was probably the most worked up I've ever gotten, because I love Vegeta. But
that was an epic moment. Everybody gets their moment, man.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of cool Dragon Ball moments, but that was the most. To me,
that had you in your feels.
The most. Yeah. But it did, like I said, Naruto is like on that scale. Like, Naruto's on a whole another plateau as far as like giving you the feels, like as you said. Yes, it takes you on a fucking roller coaster. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it gives you. It's a complete palette. Yeah, it's a complete palette. Like, you got the action, but then you have the tear jerking moments, and that music.
Music's on point.
Damn it,
their music.
Yes, the combination is.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, bro,
dude, I see. Like, you can't step into like anything anime related without seeing it. It's a popular anime for a reason. I believe you.
It's like the second. When you think about anime, like the top ones, you're gonna say Dragon Ball, then you're gonna say Naruto, and then
what edges Dragon Ball over the other? Like, in your opinion? Yeah.
For me, what edges Dragon Ball is really mainly the history that I have with Dragon Ball. Because Naruto, I literally just finished last year.
That's true. Like, well, maybe as time like goes on, you might have that question redebated.
Yeah, I mean, it's never gonna pass Dragon Ball. I can even say that it's on par with Dragon Ball. Like it's right next to Dragon Ball as far as my favorite anime. Because of the characters and see one thing also like I don't know, like when it comes to like even merch, when you look at the merch compared to Dragon Ball merch versus anime Naruto merch, it's like fucking apples and oranges because Dragon Ball, there's so much merch out there. Yeah. Naruto has a little bit of merch, but it's not anything like, especially with like the more diverse characters. Naruto has so many diverse characters. Like every character is awesome in Naruto. Like they're all good, bro, because they're all ninjas. Like they all have something to bring to the table. And they're all not, when you see a bad person or a bad guy, quote unquote, in Naruto, you think they're bad, but when you learn who they are and what their beliefs are and why they do what they do, once you learn all that shit, you're like, damn, I like this dude. Like he's not all bad. Like now I understand why he's doing what he's doing and she's doing what she's doing. Like it's that type of thing. Like everybody has a purpose to them. You know what I mean? Every character. Every last one, bro. Like it's so perfectly balanced out. Like I can't even begin to tell you. In Dragon Ball, it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like, it feels like it's the Saiyan show. Like now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why Dragon Ball was so important to me because it was even kill. It was like everybody could fight. Everybody was, in the same kind of bowl. You know what I mean? Now it's just like, it's almost to a fault now because all the other characters in Dragon Ball, they have nowhere to go. They're in limbo. Like all you have is the Saiyans that are way up high. But then where do you put the fucking superhumans who are stronger than most people on the planet, but they can't even come close to the people that the Saiyans are fighting. So they're just there. So it's like, what do you do with these people? How do you write a good story for these characters? How do you make them shine? Like, what do you do with that? And that's where I think Dragon Ball, drops the ball in comparison to Naruto.
Really? Wow. So like, and let me ask you this, son. Like, is there anything that you can even talk about the Super movie, the Broly movie, and anything that Dragon Ball Super could do that could just ruin the whole series for you? Or is it just gonna always like be a GT thing? Like, oh well, yeah, I like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but Super is like hit or miss. No, I don't know.
Super, I like Super.
But is there anything? Is there anything for you that if they just like could ruin, like if they got too technical about like how you actually become Super Saiyan? They kind of do that thing that
no.
like they did in the prequels of Star Wars, whereas like there was like a thing in your bloodstream that gave you force. It wasn't just this mystical thing anymore. Yeah.
No, to me, I look at it like I look at like a female who's beautiful. But she has a funny smell to her pussy, like, and no matter what she does, it's not gonna change. Yeah. Like she's you know what I mean? It's like she douches, she does everything that she, but that's just what it is. That's just her odor. Like, you know what I mean? And you have to take the good with the bad. Like that's how I feel with Dragon Ball Super, all of it under one umbrella. I mean, and now, especially now with what Toriyama and them are doing, they're basically telling everybody, we don't fucking, we don't care about
making this shit
like,
up
canon
as
does
we
not
go.
exist. We're gonna do we're gonna do what the fuck we want to do. I'm Rick James, bitch. That's what they're doing in the anime world.
We're just making it up. Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you have to accept it like that, or you're just gonna be upset.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true though. I mean, I think that's the way you can enjoy it. If you like don't take that mindset to some degree, you're gonna find yourself like just not getting what you want. Even if you like it, there's gonna be a part of you is like, yeah, I'd take that, but I wish they still would have done this way. And you're just, hey man, that's what happens when anything comes out years after like the original. Like when they make a sequel to movies that came out years ago now. That's why sometimes they kind of flop because, you've had so much time in between to kind of build up your expectations. Fans have like used their own imagination to like create how those characters' stories went after the cutoff, and we were like really wanting something. Right. So, what we get is what we get and we should be thankful for it, but also be vocal, but find where's that boundary of like, here's my expectations versus like my actual gripes about the quality of the show. You know, when people were really upset with the art quality at the beginning because they were really rushing these out, it felt like, and they were kind of like hit or miss on the art. People forget that Dragon Ball Z used to have a lot of crappy art moments, man. I mean, maybe maybe we just consider it like, well, who knows? Like, some of us watched it when we were younger. Maybe it was just like they think it's just that time when it came out because it wasn't like modern. When it came over, to, you know, when did it start?
Most of it to me was Super, man, to be honest. I mean, I look back at all the old Dragon Ball episodes and Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Now, there were some, you know, portions of those that weren't, you know, up to par, but they were never as bad as they were in fucking in Superman. Like, I mean, seriously, like, you can tell that those fucking artists were outsourced like a motherfucker. Like, they were calling, you know, motherfuckers from elementary school who were the best in their class. Hey, shit, bring them. Fuck it. Let's go. We need some people to draw this shit. You know, giving a motherfucker half a pizza and you know, and a soda pop, you know, saying to come in and draw some shit. I mean,
imagine if they did that in live action, where you're watching a television show on the CW, and like on episode 6, like, C-grade actors and actresses come on and they're just there for that episode, and they pretend to be the same characters. They just don't look as good. They don't act as good. Everything's just a little off. That's kind of like the same thing when you get a episode where you feel like they just kind of like, hey. It's
God, it was hard to watch.
It's like really not any details. It's like, it was very hard to watch, like you said.
I hope they learn their lesson going forward. That's all I'm going to say. Give themselves enough cushion to do these episodes.
Broly looks good, man.
Because we saw the worst. We saw the worst that they could do, and we also saw the best. I mean, episode 122. I don't know if you saw that when that day I asked you. I told you to go watch it. 122 of Dragon Ball Super, man. If you want to see how an episode is supposed to be made, go watch episode 122. Okay, and Naruto did it, and Boruto and them did an episode like that. It was a fucking epic ass episode that looked even better than the movie version of it. I can't remember the fucking episode either. I hate that I can't remember it, but when you get the right people together and you form the right teams and everything is right, man, you can do some great things. And I hope they learn their lesson going forward with Super. Where we're going.
That's my biggest thing, dude, and that can kind of connect into really anything we talked about in this episode. But when it comes to like knowing, you know, create what you want to create, but you have like so many avenues and lanes that you can like now do stuff, test things. That's why I think there's a lot of these quote unquote leaks and stuff. It's just to get like early reactions, to get really like a head start in, like, say like the Smash Brothers leak you were mentioning. They, you know, the story comes out like it's almost a bad thing, but like Nintendo are probably like, yo, we're going to get some feedback and there's going to be online. So we're going to get a head start on like whatever like the complaints are, because whatever leaks, people are going to talk about it. And so when things come out, like when I saw like all the Joker stuff come out from the Joker movie, I was like, man, they're really trying to make sure that nobody doesn't like this version, because there was such a backlash for the Jared Leto Joker and Suicide Squad, where I was like, okay, they're just like, hey, we're going to show you. What do you guys think? Social media, tell us on Twitter, you know? And I think that's what happens nowadays. Like, things are almost like purposely leaked in order for us to give feedback, because we're all going to be very vocal about it on social media. So,
that's the world we live in.
But they have no excuse now to have these oh, well, we're going to improve the communication. Like, that was like the response for Fallout 76. Like the did you hear about the mesh bags and the $200 collector edition that people were so pissed about?
Oh God, yes, man. Oh my God, bro. That's what I'm talking about, though. That's my whole point with Bethesda, man. In a nutshell, that's what it adds up to. When you asked me what was the first debacle in my mind that I could think of, and I thought of Bethesda, because they are I can't even, it's like, oh God, if it was a person, it'd be Donald Trump. I mean, I don't like getting political, but God damn it, bro. Like, what else do you do? You know what I mean? You can't do people like that, bro. You can't sell them dreams and then, you know, give them what you give them, because they're going to call you out for it. And that's why I'm glad we live in these times, because in a sense, because now the people actually, have the power to
They
actually
had the
run
voice.
it. Back in the day, if you put out a shitty game, if you put out a shitty game back in the day, man, I mean, it was just a shitty game that was put out. Now the people are speaking, and now people have, followers and stuff like that. So they're just as important as, somebody up in that upper office, that you have to answer to now. True. Because these people have clout. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it matters, bro.
And content creators, viewers, fans, everybody has a voice now. That's why it's very interesting to deal with things that are hyped. Like, I'm hyped for Dragon Ball Super, the movie, like the Broly movie. I'm hyped for that. I'm hyped for the Videogame Award announcements, like the trailers that we might get. I'm hyped for Avengers, right? And that, I'm hyped for things, and I want them to be so good, and I want them now, and I can't. But it hurts.
It's always something over that mountaintop.
But, I'm very cautiously optimistic now because I've seen where hype has, killed things, too. Like, it can be a dangerous, game to play. And you've seen, all the things at E3. A lot of things that came out this fall that were kind of hit or miss. A lot of these games didn't really live up to expectations. I mean, and so here we go. We're going into another year. There's a lot of...
Like Darksiders 3.
There you go. So...
I thought it would be bigger than it was, and it's not. It wasn't even all that. It's a mediocre game.
It's just we talked about the games we're excited for next year, right? In this episode, and it's going to be interesting to see how many of those actually do what they have been telling us that they're going to do, and everything what they're trying to sell us that we're already buying a year before actually is something that we would buy when it comes out, because we're seeing that with games like Fallout 76 where at E3 everybody was clapping in the audience and was like, oh yeah, I'm so hyped for this.
They were awesome.
Buy this $200 pre-order and now snowed. You have people wrecking GameStops trying to, because they won't get their money back because they just didn't get a good product and they're getting sued. They got a lawsuit against them. I mean, it's like, wow, guys, really, you really just fell on your face. And
I mean, but they did it to themselves. That's what I'm saying. They got all the money they need. They got lazy, man. They slap a name on it,
right.
And that's
where you
what
can't get complacent, man.
And exactly, and that's what they've done. So they might have to even scrap. They might have to scrap the Elder Scrolls game or whatever. It's that bad. They might have to scrap it from the ground up.
The one that they also announced.
No,
I heard that get delayed.
No, I'm talking about. Elder Scrolls.
Oh, the actual
Elder Scrolls game is coming out. Yeah, the actual Elder Scrolls and all that, because they said they're going to be using the same IP as the Fallout game. So if they are, they might want to rethink that and maybe scrap it and start it from ground up.
Two things real quick. One, other companies need to learn from other companies' mistakes. There's no excuse. Like, you're seeing what they're doing, don't do that. Don't do that. It's so easy. Everybody saw the reaction. You don't want that to be you. Don't do that. We're talking, don't be an EA. EA's hopefully learning. Everybody needs to learn from their lessons. Like, it benefits everybody. Hey, we're mad at you, but it's only because we're disappointed. When your parents are disappointed or mad, we're not really as mad as we are disappointed. It's like, come on, we expected better from you. You guys are supposed to be leading the charge, man. And nobody wants to be disappointed when it comes fall, because that's like a really cool time to get hyped. There's been a lot of games come out that we were hyped a year ago, and here they are, but just nobody wants to be disappointed.
Yeah, man.
Because then after enough of that, that's when you get angry. So,
and that's what's happening. So,
but we got a voice, man. That's the crazy thing. Like, if you're a fan of anime, you're a fan of comic books, anything, video games, you have a voice now. Like, don't just hate on something because everybody else is hating on it or whatever. But if you're displeased with a product and you have a logical reason to be upset, even if you're the unpopular voice, I mean, hey, don't ever be afraid to speak your mind and tell these companies and these creators your feedback. Like, we want to know from our podcast, what you think. The only way to ever improve is to get that kind of communication. We have these lines to you can tweet at, the Fallout 76 account if you want to, and you can be a troll. There's trolls out there, or you can literally just say, who knows? Who knows who's scrolling through and sees, hey, I was really looking forward to your game. Sucks that you disappointed me. What am I going to play with my family when my brother comes home from college, during Christmas? People are really looking forward to that. And that's why, like you said, we don't hate on whatever you're liking, whatever we get it. You know, there's a lot of things that we like, a lot of people don't like. Who cares? That's something that no matter how popular this culture gets, you know, we all remember the times where it wasn't like the big thing. So, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
With that, we've been talking. Let's see,
almost like 2 hours. Man.
Yeah, almost 2 hours, bro. We're gonna get ready to wrap this up. But man, I mean, the chemistry is real in these podcast streets. We out here doing it, man. Me, Bearded Buddha, aka the host of the Wonder Soul podcast, man. So we're going to get ready to get out of here. But before I do, I want to say a couple of things. To everybody out there listening, man, if you have an affinity for anime and gaming and you just want to be a guest on this show, I'm for that, man. I'm starting something where, I'm just reaching out to all the listeners out here, and I'm going to have you guys on, male, female, whatever, just as long as you love anime or games, man. I mean, that's all you need to do. If you own a computer and if you own a microphone, I mean, we can get you on the show. All you got to do is hit me, inbox me on Twitter at Studio MacGyver, or you can hit me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver79, and we can talk about it and we can get it working. I'm gonna let Bearded Buddha leave his handles for you guys, but after that, I'll bid you guys adieu. So how can they get a hold of you?
All right, man. Well, thank you again for having me on, dude. This was an awesome episode, dude. It was so fun. I love working with you, dude. This is so cool. I agree 100% about chemistry and stuff. It's just fun to geek out about all these things. But so I got my own podcast, Wonder Soul. You can find it really on any platform. You can find us on YouTube as well. We do have a Twitch channel called Wonder Streams. We're doing live shows every Wednesday night. So, and I want to have Studio on as soon as we can make that work. But you're trying to do some stuff like over there in the Twitch world. But that's pretty much it. Everything else, Twitter and Instagram, just look at Wonder Soul. But thank you again, man. I appreciate you having me on, dude.
No fucking doubt. I'm glad to have you always. And like I said, it was fun. We talk about games, we talk about anime and everything else in between, and that's what I do. That's what he does. We play games, we watch anime, and we do it to the fullest. That's the show, guys. If you want to get back with me, check out my handles. I mentioned a couple of them to you before, but you can also catch me on my YouTube channel, which is Studio MacGyver TV. If you like merch, hats, beanies, backpacks, mugs, hoodies, all that stuff, man. If you're into that, you got to check out Beautiful Nerds. That's www.beautifulnerds.com. Nerds is spelled Nurdz. Check that out, man. Pick up some dope shit. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. You have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragonball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.